YouTube disclaimer. This is a dramatic performance of a totally fictional monologue. Any similarities to reality are purely incidental. This video is for entertainment and artistic purposes only. Where are all the bees? This year has been the worst year for bees and wasps. My wife and I often go walking and we have a garden, and by now the garden would be filled with bees and we'd see bees all over the place, but we've seen hardly any bees. And the few bees that we do see are dead. Small little baby ones look like they never grew up. So what is going on here? And not a single wasp. Hardly any butterflies. Now wasps are tough. What's happened to the wasps? These guys are tough. Where are they? What's happened to them? Now something has certainly happened. Something has certainly happened. We know the weather is different. The weather is up and down all over the place. That would have affected them. But we've had terribly bad summers in the past and the bees have been all right. It's not the weather. And we know the bees are sensitive. They're very sensitive to toxicity and they're very sensitive to electromagnetic radiation. And people have done some research. Again, you'll have to look into this yourself, but apparently people have discovered high levels of aluminium in the bees, and this causes Alzheimer's. So the bees get confused, don't know what to do, and that confirms what we've seen. Some of the bees we find seem to be confused. We put them on a flower and they don't know what to do, and then they just go off. So they sort of just drop dead. And this is very sad, very sad. And also we know there's lots of electromagnetic frequencies going on, microwave radiation going on, so this will be affecting them. But what can we do about this? What can we do about this? Now the aluminium is the biggest problem, because aluminium, refined aluminium does not occur in nature. And it's been found everywhere. Everywhere around we've found refined aluminium particles. Now the only way that could have got there is if it has been applied artificially. It quite literally has to have been sprayed from the skies. So if people are out there still don't believe things are being sprayed from the skies, then you've got to ask, well, what's happening to the bees? Answer that question. How are they getting this aluminium in them? And where are they? What's happened to them? Have they been poisoned? If there's not spray coming from the skies, what has happened? And I'm very curious as to tell me what you think has happened if it's not this. Now, what can we do? Well, there's not much we can do because we can't even prove this. No one's going to admit this is happening. But one of the few things we can do is at least send them a thought, send them a prayer, think about them, send them some energy. And this might not seem like much, but I talk about this a lot on my channel. I talk about the life force energy, the chi, I talk about body dynamics, and I talk about the soul and the spirit. And this is ancient shamanic philosophy as well. The ancient shamans, they were part of nature, and they believed they were connected to all natural things, and they had a connection, a feeling. And that's one thing we can do. Tune into the bees and send them our energy, send them our thoughts. It might not feel like you're doing anything real, but you are. I mean, what is it? What is it we're doing? How is this helping them? Well, we're giving them courage. We're giving them strength. If you think about it like this, the bees are struggling, their spirit, their soul is struggling, and they need to fight back. They need to get strong. They need to fight back against this toxicity, against this poisoning. And giving them a boost of energy, sending them our thoughts, our prayers, this will help. It will help. So I urge you all, if you're already healers out there, psychics out there, or even just nature lovers out there, spare some time for the bees. Think about them. If you find any bee in trouble, do give it a helping hand. Do whatever you can do. But look at this video. This fields of lavender, hardly any bees, no butterflies. Now we came here years ago, last year and the year before, covered in bees, loads and loads of bees. And this time, I only really saw 5 or 10 bumblebees and a few honeybees, but hardly anything. You can see hardly any bees. All these flowers, wonderful energy from the flowers, and I've already done a qigong routine in this lavender field. I'll leave the links at the end of this video. So because it's such good energy, this fragrance of the flowers, the colour of the flowers, this natural energy is very good for us. So if we can get out in nature and experience this energy, do our exercises, do our breathing out here, it's very good energy for us. But no bees, no bees. So let us all send some thoughts to them. As we watch this video, send some love to the bees. It's rather like someone in hospital, you know a loved one in hospital suffering. You can't really do much to help them, but you go and sit with them, you give them moral support, you try and lift their spirits. Well, this is what I'm trying to do for the bees. This is what we can do for the bees. It's hard to understand how this works, but just by sitting and thinking about them, sending them our love, we could be helping their spirit, helping them strengthen up their power, because they've got to fight back. These guys have got to fight back, and we need to help them fight back. And it's these multinational corporations. Essentially, they don't mind spraying the soils, poisoning the earth, because they're developing their own genetically modified bees that are more resistant to aluminium, so they don't care. But it's very, very dangerous. We need the bees, we need the pollinators, and we've got to do whatever we can do to try and help them. And if we can think of what we can do to counteract this poisoning of the skies, this over radiation of the electromagnetic force around us, then we've got to do it. But for now, spare a thought for the bees. Send them some healing energy, send them some love. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Do let me know in the comments what you have noticed, and I look forward to seeing you in one of these other videos here.